This ABC 15 Flash Briefing is sponsored by Sanderson Ford. Straight up.
Hello, I'm Danielle Lerner with your top stories from ABC15 Arizona. Major turmoil in Afghanistan this weekend. That country's government collapsing. The Taliban now inching closer to taking complete control. ABC15 speaking with the former leader of Arizona's National Guard, retired Major General Michael McGuire. He's now running for U.S. Senate, but did share his thoughts this week on the Taliban takeover.
Well, I think what's important for Arizonans to know is that there are great people in the Middle East, in all the countries that I have had the opportunity to deploy to. And this rapid departure, not unlike we saw in 2011 when there was this discussion of don't worry about ISIS, and you saw what happened in Syria, and then us having to redeploy folks over there. There are strong violent extremism groups in the Middle East that are going to be empowered by this. It's going to make our partners and allies less safe in that region.
McGuire went on to say the U.S. needs to clearly define its role in the Middle East so that our allies know where we stand. Developing this weekend, the U.S. Department of Education sending letters to governors who banned mask mandates for schools, pleading with them to lift the ban and signaling they will side with educators who implement mask policies. We know for sure the governors of Texas and Florida received letters, but it's still not clear if one has or will be sent to Governor Ducey. Arizona is among 7 states prohibiting districts from requiring masks in schools, although there are efforts underway in Arizona courts to push back against those bans. This as we wrap up our 3rd day in a row with case numbers over 3,000 reported in just 24 hours. 2 new deaths also reported. But we want to turn your attention to our neighbors in Las Vegas. Clark County reporting 38 deaths in the past 24 hours. Florida and Texas say their ICU beds are nearly full. So where does Arizona stand? The Arizona Department of Health Services reporting Arizona still has 10% of its ICU beds available, and not far off from the worst we've ever seen at 7% last February. Compare that to pre-pandemic levels. About 36% of beds were free. As we've mentioned before, though, one of the biggest problems our state is facing is not so much a shortage of beds, but more so a shortage of staff. And new emergency health orders go into effect on the Navajo Nation. Masks will be required on reservation land regardless of vaccination status. All restaurants, bars, and casinos will be limited to 50% of their capacity, and social gatherings will be limited to 25 people. We have an update now on a concerning situation in Phoenix. A man is in custody after climbing this radio tower near North 36th Street and Thomas Road. That's right outside the Walmart there. A Phoenix Fire calling this an extremely complex rescue situation. Eventually, that man climbed down on his own. Still not clear, though, why he was up there in the first place. An interesting story this weekend coming out of the Arizona courts. Our partners at KTAR reporting 3 West Valley residents purchased more than 100 firearms from across Phoenix. One charged with dealing firearms without a license, an attorney calling it illegal firearms trafficking, but it's still not clear exactly whose those guns were sold to. The death toll still at 2 after flooding rocked Gila Bend this weekend. That community now cleaning up, but the extent of the damage is still unclear. We just don't know how many homes are considered a total loss. Local officials saying there are still searches underway as well, but they won't say if more people are still missing. And the Arizona Humane Society deploying their emergency response team to Gila Bend to set up an animal shelter for those who lost their homes. It has food, blankets, and a safe place for their animals to stay while their owners clean up.
Tracking your most accurate forecast, I'm meteorologist Jorge Torres. We are talking about the possibility of flash flooding yet again across central and southern Arizona through at least Tuesday morning. The flash flood watch that was supposed to expire Sunday afternoon has now been extended a couple of days. And not only that, the possibility of severe weather ramps up across central and southern Arizona on Monday. The areas in the darker shade of green, including all the Phoenix metro, under what is known as a marginal risk for severe storms on Monday, with the possibility of these storms to produce heavy rain, large hail, and damaging wind gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour. It will be 100 degrees, though, on your Monday, 111 Lake Havasu and 81 up in Flagstaff. And the planner for your Monday showing temperatures in the mid-80s in the morning, climbing to the mid-90s at noon, and calling for a high of 100 degrees on Monday. Chance of rain picks up even more Tuesday and Wednesday at 40% with highs in the mid-90s, staying that way through Thursday, then heating up and drying up beginning Friday and next weekend.
This ABC 15 Flash Briefing is sponsored by Sanderson Ford. Straight up.